Sometimes I genuinely wish that I were more mask presenting. I wish I were more mask presenting or like more masculine or even had the ability to come off more masculine. I just don't have that ability whatsoever. It's not that I don't like my femininity, it's just that the world doesn't like very much so respect it. It's like I'm beautiful, I'm gorgeous, and that's cute, but I'm not desirable. And in a world where desirability is a currency, bitch, I'm kind of broke. It's like, yes, people acknowledge my beauty, people acknowledge the fact that I am gorgeous, etc., but it doesn't translate to power. It doesn't translate to attention, or it doesn't translate to being taken seriously. And I think ultimately that has kicked me into increasing like my skill set in like other ways, just because it's like I have to be skilled in something else, because if I'm not skilled in something else, it's like just be the faggot, just be the handbag fag, be the accessory, be the makeup artist. And if you're not that, we're not taking you seriously. If you're not a part of this role that we want you to play, bitch, we can't take you serious, genuinely. And this is something that I deal with frequently in the Black community, in the world point blank period, within my own queer community. Okay, we're going to talk today. I'm really happy to come and have this conversation because my audience is primarily women. And while we have different experiences, I think that women can relate to me. I think my audience is primarily women for a reason. And it's not to disregard the gays and the theys that do follow me and things like that. But girl, y'all know how our community is when it comes to femfolk in the first place. You know how our community is. And for about women, about Black women, bitch, you know how you are too. But I'm happy to come have this conversation because I think a lot of you guys can relate to me and on this. And I want to hear some feedback from you guys. I genuinely do. I want to hear how you navigate these things if you are considered desirable. But like I said, I don't think it's even being desirable or gorgeous. I don't think it has more so to do with being feminine, because I know some ugly masculine people, but because that cloak of masculinity is still there, they still get a certain type of respect, even if the masculinity is whiteness. Hey, what's up? I'm Ken here. Kadiva could not make it. And even though Kadiva could not make it, Kadiva did this past weekend. She dropped off a new single titled Something in the Water or whatever. And she want me to tell y'all to go listen to it.
We could never be. It must be something in your water. Must be something in your way. Something swimming in the lake. There must be something in your water. Must be something in the splish splash swimming in the way. It must be something in your water. Must be something in the way. Something swimming in the lake.
Point blank period. Go listen to it. It's a gem, especially if you are a music lover. I really think that you will appreciate Something in the Water. I really, really love that song. It's all I've been listening to for the past 8 months. It's on all streaming platforms. It is listed down below and all those good things. But you see, it's even in the way that I talk. The way that I talk. I'm a very free-flowing person. I'm not a very structured bitch, just point blank period. And it's because I am a creator. And while some creations can be more structured, when it comes to these making YouTube videos and stuff, I'm just not of this era of having a strict bullet points and I'm teaching you this and that. No. I'm having a lot of free thought. You get me? Somebody had commented on a video a while ago and they were like, your videos would do so much better if you were more structured. And I was like, I understand that, but to respect my creative core and what I started YouTube as, it's just not given like I'm on camera with a full script. It's just not given that. And I really appreciate constructive criticism. I do. But you have to understand me as a creative. And you have to understand the things that I stand for or whatever. I stand for Blackness. I stand centered in my femininity. I don't try to teeter-totter. There are so many people that are very effeminate, but they try to approach this world in a masculine way because they know that they will get more respect that way. You get what I'm saying? And I think that we need more individuals that probably are more similar to me to create a more solid balance, because the masculine coming back for her things if you get what I'm saying, you get what I'm saying. It's more than just skin color. These things are put inside of us at a very early age, just like it's a subconscious thing, genuinely. And I think a lot of this has led to a lot of artificial intelligence, a lot of repeated intelligence. That's a conspiracy theory of mine, though, and I'll get back to that at a later date. Just how the fact that the artificial shit is already intertwined within us, and that has taken us away from free thought. That has taken us away from receiving downloads from other places and all type of other shit. Spirit is not always going to be this structured thing. Actually, spirit isn't too structured whatsoever. Men are. White folk. Masculinity. So I guess I could really even just start there. I could start there and talk about how, bitch, me being more feminine, me doing this, less people take me serious just for doing this. You get what I'm saying? There are whole full ass courses out there that teach you how to speak to somebody and be taken seriously. You know what I'm saying? You have to be stout. You have to be this. You have to be this. And all this, I feel like it's a form of anti-blackness. I truly feel like it's like the closer you are to structure, the closer you are to whiteness. Is we a lot of times we associate masculinity, whiteness, structure. You get where I'm going? And a lot of times I think black people are associated subconsciously with the feminine. The feminine is associated with evil. I could go on and on and on. I'm just a bitch to make you think. I'm not here to hold your hand and walk you through this thought process. I want to make you think more, point blank, period. And I can't make you think more if I sit here and give you do. This is how I view things. Some people may disagree with me. That is perfectly fine. That cloak of masculinity, though, it can look so many different ways. It's even how when you get to the black community and people take people more seriously right off the rip if they have a designer bag on their arm. You know what I'm saying? There is a group of at least 5,000 people out there that would sit down and watch me if I was sitting up here in my Chanel. I don't even have Chanel, but it's the truth, bitch. Okay, take a person like Saucy Santana for example. Saucy Santana is very feminine, etc. But I think if Saucy didn't cloak himself in all the material things or whatever, and there's no shade to Saucy, I love Saucy Santana down boots, and I am very thankful for his existence because his existence makes beings like mine and his a lot more easier here on Earth, genuinely. But if he didn't exist in the material world or whatever, bitch.
Material world. I want Chanel 9 boots. Saw these niggas steady jocking because they know I'm the truth.
Bitch, he would not be taken serious whatsoever. And you can't argue with me about that. He just wouldn't be taken that serious. He's still not taken serious or whatever. But the only reason some people do take him serious is because he's a material hoe.
And I get it from my mammy ball main bust downs. These hoes can't stand me.
He's closer to these things that are things that people desire. Do you get where I'm going with it? There have been times where I have said something and I've said it again and again and again, and people will be like, why are you repeating yourself? I'm repeating myself because somebody's fucking listening to me. And then somebody, like some man, comes and says that same exact thing and it's taken more seriously right off the rip. And this is what I mean when I say, bitch, I'm beautiful, but I'm not desirable. And I don't participate in a lot of the desirability politics. Desirability, it goes beyond how attractive you are. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what desirability is on the forefront or whatever, but it's much more than that. It's whatever gets you closer to whiteness. Even if designer clothes, numbers. It could be numbers, for example. Do you know how many beautiful artists I know that exist? Gorgeous down boots, bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like gorgeous, bitch. Like real gorgeous. We'll never see the light of the day. And we'll never see the light of the day because they don't have that stamp of approval, whatever that stamp of approval may be, even if it is the designer clothes, even if it is the numbers, etc., or just the stamp of approval from like a higher up point blank period. Let a higher up give me a stamp of approval right now. Watch what happens. Numbers. So for example, I had a conversation with a friend. Okay, this is a perfect example. I had a conversation with a friend a few days ago or whatever, and they basically was like, bitch, I miss you. And I was like, I miss you too, like when we go see each other. They was like, no, I miss you in real life, but I miss you on social media. And then they went and, on a tangent. They were like, I miss watching your YouTube videos, blase, blase, blase. And then they said something along the lines of, it baffles me how social media had this surge and you were not present, bitch. That kind of pisses me off to think about. And I had to explain to them, like, so you do know that I jumped off the bandwagon, right? And it was like, yeah, I understand, but I don't think I'm fully understanding. So I basically had broken down to them. And I was telling them, like, not only was I losing my authentic life while chasing a false light, listen to that part, okay? They don't want your authentic light. They want you to be a version of just a shell of yourself, okay? Not only was that occurring, but like social media started to become, it was because I jumped off the bandwagon, not fell off, let's be very clear. I jumped off the bandwagon because like I didn't like what I was sensing was on the horizon. If you notice, everything was going through a shift during the pandemic, not just we as a person on the global scope, everything was going through a shift, and I didn't like the shift I seen happening. I seen a lot of people jumping into it, chasing false lights, losing their authentic lights. I didn't want to stick around and be an example, the poster child for that. Genuinely. Because in a few years, when the after effects of social media, let a few more of these TikTok stars and shit for all off, and you go really see. I'm telling you, I wasn't the only creator that fell off, quote unquote. It was a lot of creators that jumped off the bandwagon, and there was a lot of different factors. I think everybody has an individual experience, but there is some commonality somewhere around this bitch. And I think a lot of the commonalities are that like people like this is not fully healthy. It's not. And quite frankly, I wasn't mentally strong enough to play the game. Because I do realize, because there was always someone in the back, well, that's the game of life. That's the game. That's the game. Who told you that you had to play this game, first of all? Oh, shout out to the Kendrick Lamar performance. Who told you you had to play this game in the first place? And why is it that we have to play this game? You get what I'm saying? But now that I am aware and I know, oh, bitch, okay, maybe I'll play the game now. But I'm very aware, I'm very intentional while playing this game, understanding what it is I am saying. So if you see a resurgence, if you see me, the phoenix rising out the motherfucking ashes, bitch, you know what I'm saying? Know that it's with intention. Know that I'm aware now. You get me? But I wasn't prepared for that game in my 20s, bitch. I don't give a fuck what nobody say, bitch. I still felt half teen up until about 28, 27. Okay, as I approached 30, I realized, okay, this is adult. This is adult. Okay. 20s, especially early 20s, bitch, 23 ain't too much far from 19, 18, and 17. It's just not. I understand we look at time a specific way, but time, it's all an illusion. Okay? You can't put a time on somebody's individual growth. Oh, you're 23. Now you're grown. I had bitches telling me shit like, you're 23, why are you acting like that? Well, bitch, I didn't know no better. Bitch, of course I'm still fucking up at 23. I remember a bitch from New York told me that. You're 23, act like it. Well, bitch, I was just 17 the other day for my knowledge, and I genuinely mean that. And on top of that, I didn't come from a well-developed community. I didn't. So it took me a little longer to develop or whatever. You get what I'm saying? I think that's why black doesn't crack. It's our energetic makeup. Like it's an energy frequency thing also. But anyways, back to the conversation with a friend. I was telling this friend all of these things. Like I just didn't want to lose my light. And I just peeped that I didn't like what was happening with social media. I just didn't. I didn't like it. I didn't like the culture that it was creating. And I also told them that like every friend I've made from social media, I fell out with. And let's be very clear. Every bitch y'all have ever seen me fall out with, for those of you who have been around since the Heflawless days, I don't care which bitch you think about, all of them hoes wanted to be friends with me first. Why did they want to be friends with me? This is explaining social media as a whole. They wanted to be friends with me for proximity. They wanted to be friends with me for my very much so essence of who I was. But the thing is that when the glitz and glam disappeared, when they realized, oh, this is a real person, it's not all for show. You know what I'm saying? When they just skipped over the personal videos, because I made sure that I told people I'm a real person. I talked about my life experiences. I talked about getting molested. I talked about so many things. I talked about trauma, all type of things. I talked about all this shit for real. But you didn't pay attention to that part, because I put who I was on display. I always have put who I was on display. But once they figured out I was a real person, oh, girl, bye. This is no longer a clown character. Bitch, you wanted me to be the clown. You wanted me to be the handbag. A lot of people wanted me to be the makeup artist. Well, bitch, fuck you and your definition of who you think I'm supposed to be, bitch. I lived this life once. I'm exploring it all. And I'm a real person. I'm a real person that makes mistakes. I'm a real person with real emotions. And that is why ultimately I said I gotta get away from this social media shit. I just say that to give an example of what social media is. That's when I started social media, bitch. I started social media on MySpace. I know we are far from the MySpace days. I know everything goes through a transition. Social media has taken hormones. But my nigga, okay, I started with my top 10, top 5 friends on MySpace, bitch. That was my idea. It was real innocent. You get what I'm saying? That was my idea of social media. I wasn't ready for the game. So that's why I left this shit. But I mentioned the whole social media thing to say though that when I did have the numbers and things, that was a cloak of masculinity. I could go on, but I think you get what I'm saying. I hope you take something from this video. Even if you don't take something from this video, I hope you enjoyed the video. I had a blast talking about all of this. Make sure you go follow me. Make sure you go stream Kadiva's song, Something in the Water, bitch, because it's definitely something in the water. You can't tell me it's not something in the water. I'll end this video off by saying, I may not be the world's version of desirable, but I know my power. And that power isn't dependent on who finds me attractive. I think there does need to be a shift, though, towards embracing beauty that isn't just tied to whiteness or mainstream validation. And those are the words I leave you off with.